Hey, I'm back, and today I want to do another album review. Today's album is Good People in Times of Evil by Jonas Hellborg. This album came out in the year 2000 and really made an impact on me and, how I play and how I think of music. On top of Jonas Hellborg playing bass, you also have Shawn Lane and V. Selvaganesh. Hope I got these names correct. And what makes this album great is it's a fusion of Western music, particularly I think jazz and Indian music. And so V. Ganesh comes in, he's playing all the percussion and things, and Jonas Hellborg plays bass, and Shawn Lane, as I said, is playing guitar. And there's also on one track a string player. He's playing, I don't know, sarang? I'm not sure exactly. It's almost like an Indian violin. But this is basically a small production. I believe it's actually recorded live. And what I like about it is it's improvisational. So it's not free jazz. So don't think you're gonna hear a bunch of like dissonant noise or something like that. It's not that. But there's lots of interplay between the musicians and it has lots of long solos in it. What I really like about it is it's not what you typically hear in Western music in general. You're hearing something completely new, but it does have some familiar elements to it. And it's not, just like ambient music. It has lots of grooves and, just something you can latch onto. Each song pretty much has a head to it, just like a normal jazz song would. And then after the head, they go into extended solos. If you haven't heard Indian music before, this will probably be like an eye opener to you. And if you have heard it, I imagine you'll like this because it's similar to Indian music, but it does have some kind of Western influences going with it too. All the musicians are great. They're, extremely high class virtuosos. And it really shows on here. They really get to stretch out. Because there's only three of them, there's plenty of room for everyone to do stuff. It's not like where you have, five people and people kind of have to stay out of each other's way. With three people, they can kind of go wild and show what they can do. I really like how they do this and they give the song some kind of structure, but at the same time, it's free. And then at the end, they, return back to the structure. Another thing I really like about it is so many times you hear music that's blues based, at least I do in Western culture. And that's good, but it's interesting to hear a guitarist, especially, playing something that's really not blues based at all, although he does throw it in every once in a while. He's really playing something that's completely different. So it's one of those things like, oh wow, I haven't heard something like that before. On top of that, the percussionist is crazy. He's playing with, I think, type of Indian frame drum and another one's Udu, I believe. It's like a pot, and he's playing it, and he's amazing, complete virtuoso, and the interplay between these two is amazing as well. On top of that, I really like the songs that Jonas, I'm not sure, wrote. He has some chances of his own to play some kind of like funky stuff, and this kind of like funk bass goes really well with the Indian percussion. And on top of that, Shawn Lane, he does some things using like reverse delays, and he makes some kind of like drones and pads and everything. So it gives kind of an ambient atmosphere. All in all, I really love this album just because it's so new. Even though it has some familiar things, in general, I'm trying to think if there's any other album that's like this. Only thing that's close is Shakti by John McLaughlin, but to be honest, I like this more than Shakti, just my personal preference. You really get to see the musicians stretch out, but it's still very, very listenable, even though it may not be what you normally listen to. So I'd say definitely check this out. I found it on Amazon Prime, but I'm sure you can find it in stores. I'm sure you can download it, on Amazon or check it out on Spotify. Although I didn't check on there, but definitely check this out if you haven't heard it. Shawn Lane, if you haven't heard of him, Shawn Lane is amazing, one of the most technical guitarists of all time. But despite his technique, he still has lots of feel and it sounds great whether he's playing fast or slow, which he does both on this album. Also, if you haven't, give me a thumbs up if you like this, and subscribe down below for more content. And until next time, see you.